Hey, everybody, we had a game yesterday. USA 1, Turkey 2 in Hartford, Connecticut. Lots to discuss here, I think. A pretty interesting game. Got Vince here. Vince, how are you?
I'm doing great, Adam Belz. And my favorite thing to do is to break down a loss. It might sound might sound a little strange to you, listener, but yeah, love getting in there. It's never as bad as you think,
No.
never as good as you think, and I think I prefer the never as bad as you think. Um, on that side, I want to say,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it's nice to watch a loss, and then sort of be encouraged about it. So never as bad as you think. But also, there's fun in the forensics, of like figuring out what did go wrong.
always.
Yeah.
And the thing is, not a lot of things went wrong.
No, just a
A couple,
couple things, a couple big
yeah,
things. Yeah.
a couple moments.
Poor Johnny. You know, I
Yeah, yeah.
I hope we stick with. I mean, we got to stick with him. We gotta stick it out. Hopefully, he gets some minutes off the bench on Tuesday. But good
Yeah.
grief, buddy.
Bells, I did get to that point. Watching it back when he makes a mistake and just watching his face, like I felt some sorrow come over me for sure. And I'm not even like the biggest Johnny fan. Like I like Johnny. I think he's a good
Yeah,
player. I,
yeah.
I would I would love to see him come good for us, all that type of stuff. But I am not a stan. I don't know if you've noticed how much time you spent on Twitter lately, Bells. But Johnny does have a growing. It might not be growing anymore, but a growing stand base
Okay.
that they pray at the altar of Johnny Cardoso, Johnny Soccer, and I'm just thinking about those people today.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm just thinking about them, and but yeah, when I like looked at his face, after he made the mistake, he's like muttering to himself. I'm like, damn, like just imagine being him right now.
Yeah.
It's,
And then the problem is not just that he makes the big mistake, the goal conceding mistake, but then he also starts to play very badly after that, you know, and he
yes,
falls apart.
bro, he fell all the way apart. It was sad to see. Like I've been thinking about Johnny every. I've been thinking about it for like the last 3 hours, man. Because I'm just like, man, I hope somebody put their arm around that man.
Yeah. Well,
Because it
Luca, Mr. Pulpo came up and kind of tried to reassure him right after the mistake.
didn't
Um,
help.
didn't help one bit. No.
Didn't help, bro. Because by the end of the half, like he he hid after. So he had the big mistake, and then there was like two more mistakes right
Yeah.
after that. And then for the last about 10, 12 minutes of the half, you wouldn't even have known he was on the pitch, bro. And we had the ball quite a bit. Like after we got through our little 4 minute phase, we got right back to playing ball. But Johnny was missing at that point. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So
It was just such an unnecessary error too, which we'll get into. Um, but I think there's a lot of positives to take from this game too. Not just Johnny's meltdown isn't the only thing. But first, some announcements. So number one, Greg will join me for the recap of the Switzerland match, which is on Tuesday. We'll recap it either Wednesday or Thursday. Tuesday, we're gonna be there, you and I, at least. Joaquin's a little iffy on Tuesday now. He may not make it. He said some things come up, but we have a keg on, and I already have it in my possession. We'll tailgate on Tuesday afternoon at the northwest corner of Craighead and Bransford. I guess there's maybe some fan festival thing happening there, but it's a big parking lot. And last time when we got there, it was early enough that they were just letting people in. I assume the same will happen. If something changes, we'll call an audible and we'll put it out on all the communications channels. But right now, that's the location. I think I'll be there by 2:30 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, should be fun. Come join us. Have a beer. The other last announcement is Sanjay Sujantha Kumar, that is, and I are going to interview Walker Zimmerman tomorrow. I'll put a form in the show notes at which you can submit a question if you like, We'll try to ask as many as we can that are submitted by listeners. So those are the announcements. What's your overall thoughts on the game before we get into the lineups and the timeline? Are
Well,
you encouraged, discouraged, same as you
yeah,
were before?
I don't see any reason to be discouraged at all. I think this group of players played admirably, and I do have a overarching thought on this match that I think I'm gonna save until the end of this recap because I don't want it to cloud everything that we say.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'm encouraged. We got out there and we played ball and we played intelligent ball and yeah,
We
I'm,
played
I'm
hard. We played hard. I mean, there was no lack of energy, I don't think.
Sure, but I'm after rewatching those matches in the Nations League. Well, we talked about it, Bells, but I'm not totally sure that effort, attitude had that much to do with it necessarily. Pochettino does seem to be convinced, though.
Mhm.
With comments on the broadcast, and I think his comments after the match kind of alluded to it. So whatever.
Yeah, he
But
said he'd rather lose on a mistake than on a lack of effort. So,
mhm.
things are so in his view, things are trending in the right direction. Another quote he said is, "I'm really sad because I think this group of players are working so hard, and I think we deserved a better result today. I think we performed well. I think we're brave enough."
Yep.
I mean, one other overarching thought is I was happy to see Chris Richards start to lay his claim as the spiritual center of gravity for this team
Yeah.
by not only by being the captain, but he played really well.
Yeah.
I don't think he really put a foot wrong, and also did put a lot of feet right, if you will. Um, let's do the lineups. Matt Freese in goal, just looking every bit the Ivy League crew captain that he is. Man, he's an impressive looking dude, huh?
Yeah, for sure. For
He
sure.
looks like a superhero or something. And then Alex Freeman makes his debut at right back. Thought he did all right, actually. Thought he did all right.
Yeah, he
I
did.
mean, he had his mistakes.
Did have his mistakes. Did all right. He's probably a little bit better than I expected. I got in the tape. I watched me some Alex Freeman matches because I had been hearing a lot of praise, Adam Bell's. People on the Scuff Discord had reported that Joe Lowry said the best right back in MLS. That he's current form Alex Freeman is better than Joe Scally. A lot of things. So I was like, man, I was excited to turn on the Y Scout and check him out. Then I checked him out and I was underwhelmed. I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'll leave that. I'll go ahead and say that he's very much a prospect, right? He's very much raw, and when you say things like better, not that Joe Scally some super high bar, but when you say things like better than Joe Scally and best right back at MLS, I thought I was just going to turn on the tape and just see, him just going crazy from minute one, and it's like, man, and
No,
I was clipping some stuff. And usually I wait until I feel some type of until I'm moved, right? Adam Bells to hit the shift command 5 and clip the and clip the video. And
yeah,
I got shockingly long into Alex Freeman clips before I felt any need to clip anything. Now, with all that being said, he played well. He didn't have a ton, he played the Joe Scally role, right? Stayed home, uh, played the ball at the back, but he did it admirably. And he defended admirably for the most part. So
yeah. He had the one time where he got left behind by Yildiz
yes,
on a run up the left wing. But generally speaking, 1v1 defending from him was good. He's not going to solve a bunch of problems in possession the way, say, like a Serginho Dest or a Tim Weah would from the right
mhm.
back position. But you know, that actually does matter a lot. It's a real limitation in his game. But I thought, like considering who he is, a young player making his debut and playing against a pretty good Turkey team, he did all right.
Yeah.
Um,
In a vacuum, it's like this is an A+ performance.
right. Okay, so Chris Richards, Miles Robinson were the center backs. Max Arston gets the nod at left back. We'll get into him more later. Johnny Cardoso and Luca Della Torre were, I guess, the nominal double pivot, and then we
Mhm.
had Jack McGlynn at right wing, Malik Tillman as the 10, Diego Luna as the left wing. Although they're Tillman and Luna are floating all over the place, and then Patrick Ajamong as the striker.
Yep.
Couple notes on this, thanks to Soccer America. So this lineup had zero. This starting lineup had 0 players who played in the 2022 World Cup. 1 who started against Panama in March 2025.
Uh-huh.
Now, who is that? Would that
Chris.
be? Okay, yeah, Richards. And then 8 of these starters are from MLS. That was the most outside December, January camps starting a game for the national team since 2003.
Yeah.
Who'd have guessed? Who'd have guessed Posh would usher in the MLS renaissance on the men's national team?
It's crazy. I mean, we knew Poch was going to bring some of that Argentinian madness in somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
But for it to manifest in this way is it's pretty incredible.
It's kind of ironic, yeah. Turkey's lineup was, I think I heard on the broadcast, Brian Dunseth, who always does his research. He said this was 9 out of 11 of their first choice 11. They got some World Cup qualifiers coming up. They're in it's business time for them. So this was a good test for us. Berke Ogier in goal. AS Roma's Zeki Celik was the right back. The center backs were Fenerbahce's Çağlar Soyuncu and then Mira Demiral, whose club is Al Ahly in the Saudi league. And then Aaron Al-Mali was the left back. He plays at Galatasaray, and he did not do his research on Jack McGlynn. Yeah. The 2 withdrawn midfielders were Ismail Yukshek and Orkun Kokshu. Kokshu was number 6. He's a good player. He's a Benfica midfielder. And then the band of 3 was Kenan Yildiz on the left wing, obviously familiar to a lot of us from Juve. Dynamic, but a little inconsistent. Arda Güler was the 10, central attacking midfielder. He plays at Real Madrid. Comes off the bench a lot, but also made 14 league starts this season. Oguz Aydin was at left wing. He plays for Fenerbahce and is pretty nice, I think. And then Kerem Aktürkoğlu plays as a left-sided attacker for Benfica, but he was a striker in this game. Number 7, Balding, pretty effective. 2 of the goal scorers were Balding, Jack and Karen.
Yeah, Jack got them bangs banging, bro. Because if you lift them things up, bro,
yeah,
ceiling's gonna be missing.
The rain is missing. The rain wasn't doing him any favors. To the timeline. It's to my eyes a band of 5 in attack, just like it's been all along, ever since Berhalter took over. Arfston from left to right, Arfston, Luna, Big Pat, Malik, and McGlynn. Freeman is staying mostly at home in the Scally role, like we're talking about. Yep. And we come out with good energy, right? We want to play with the ball on the floor. Obviously, we're trying to play with the ball on the floor. We're not banging it long, and we do it beautifully right out of the gate. Gets cycled back to Freeze. He taps it over to Richards. This is before a minute is gone. Over to Richards. Richards slides a really nice ball through 2 lines of Turkey's defensive shape. Real incisive to McGlynn, who's checking back to the ball in the channel. McGlynn, a real slick one-touch pass for Tillman, cuts out another couple defenders, and Tillman's off, running at a naked back line. He returns it to McGlynn, who's running as hard as he can down the line, and McGlynn takes a few touches. Like I said, Al-Mali didn't do his homework. He's recovering. He lets McGlynn cut in and wind up, and it's just a dipping, curling beaut of a goal. The type of goal we can expect from Jack now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I noticed it was tight to the crossbar, but it was it was far enough in from the crossbar where you're like, oh man, this man's in complete control of where he's placing this ball. It wasn't like too close where it's a little lucky and it like rings in off the post.
Yeah.
No, it's like a 6 inches in from the post. And let's see. Richards gets credit for the ball to McGlynn's feet for sure. So really nice pass. But the rest of this is McGlynn. McGlynn creates the jailbreak with the little one-touch pass to Tillman, and then obviously he does all the rest after Tillman passes it to him. So what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I do want to shout out just Malik on, he receives the ball. There's a recovering midfield. I want to say it was one of the two midfielders, Kochu
Ishmael,
or
yeah.
Ishmael. I mean, he kind of, not that they put in much of a challenge anyway, but if they were, he was there to shrug him off, and then he just, classic Malik style, holds on to it. Plays to the beat of his own drum. He can't speed him up, holds it, makes sure Jack can get on his horse, accelerate, go, and then he leads him in a way to where Jack is just able to run onto the ball and then cut inside. So I did like that from Malik. It's not that it made the play or anything.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
those added details make sure the play doesn't stop, right? So sick from Jack, of course. I mean, once you see him cut on the left, especially because he's done this like 3 times in the past month in MLS. So it's
Right.
like, okay, he's cutting on his left like unaccosted. Like it's you have a strong feeling that it could happen, and it has to be nice for him because Jack, like many others, I assume, had tons of friends and family at this match. Jack being from the Northeast, right? I mean, from NYC proper.
Yeah, his dad coaches a club in Connecticut, so it's all
So I
real
mean,
close. Yeah.
come on. I mean, I know it had to feel great for him to do that in front of family and everything. And before we leave this goal real quick, Adam Belz, I got a question for you. If we get the same situation against Panama in the Nations League, and our player that's playing the right wing has this same situation running down the touchline, how does it end?
You mean if it's McGlynn against Panama?
No. If it's who we played on the right wing against Panama.
I forget who was it. Tim who we played. I forget who we played on the right wing against.
Yunus
Panama.
Musa.
Oh, no, it doesn't end like this. No, what probably happens is it either gets crossed and there's like some kind of goal there, or it gets stopped and recycled back, which is probably the more likely option. Go ahead. So you have a point to make with that.
I mean, my point is just, you get Yunus Musa in the same situation. You get what, 2% chance?
Yeah,
1% chance that it ends up in a goal. Which goes back to my initial point of just about effort and attitude. Well, it's like it's a lot easier to look like you're trying when
you got people in the right spots.
You got people in the right spots, man. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought up percentages because I think this shot from McGlynn, I don't have an XG chart up in my room or anything, so I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing it's probably like a 0.1 at the most.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when McGlynn is shooting this from inside 20 yards, cutting in on his left, you have to kind of throw the XG model out because it is like, I don't know what the percentage chance is, but it's very likely to be a goal, especially when he has this kind of time. He's able to lean into it, lean over it. He just had all the time to just shape that shot exactly the way he wanted to.
Right.
When he has all that, it's like, I don't know, it's like a coin toss, whether it's going in from this distance. It's like a 50-50.
Yeah, you got to shoot this like a warm-up shot.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, at that point, I would up the chances for sure.
It did wake up, I think, Turkey a little bit. That they were like, okay, wait a second. Now we gotta play. And the rain is falling. We're battling hard. I clocked something in the 5th minute where we get Pat in his best situation. It's a kind of a looped ball from Cardoso, who's I think started the game in fine form floats it down the line in Pat's direction. He runs it down, beats Demerol to it, faces Demerol up and goes at him. Demerol does get the better of the duel and wins a throw-in or something, but it's a good scenario for us, I think. This is Pat in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That's why we want him out there.
I actually I don't think Demerol won this duel. I'm pretty sure Chelik came in
back
and got himself in between the ball and Pat, and then ended up winning a foul.
Okay.
Basically. But yeah, this is definitely what we want, man. I mean, you got Big Pat out here. This is what we got. This is what we have to do. This is how you get production out of him and dangerous attacking moments from him. So I love to see it. And it starts from Chris heading away a Turkish cross into the box. Ball just squirts to Luca de la Torre. He squares it to Johnny, and Johnny just, I mean, barely doesn't even look up. Like blind balls. That's what you need. And it's like for Pat, for Ballo, whenever he gets healthy at some point, for whatever striker, I think that we play, I think that's what Poch will love to see. And I just love a blind ball just in general. It's the best way to catch a defense out. It's like that they're attacking, they're in their attacking posture and shape, and we know we got a Demerol Ajimong 1v1 if you just throw it up,
dump it up there. Yeah. What do we have next on the timeline?
Yeah, 6 minute. We get a pretty good look at our defensive shape. We're basically in a, I don't know if I want to call it. It's a little bit higher than a mid block. I want to say our line of confrontation is probably set up in the in our half. What should I say? The Turkish half or our half?
Turkish half. It's in our offensive half, right?
Yeah, it's in our offensive half. You know, halfway between the end line and the halfway line. Basically, is our line of demarcation there. 4-4-2. Malik and Pat up top, and Turkey is building out with basically their two center backs and Kochu deep, and you know the fullbacks are in a traditional fullback position, and so whichever fullback on either Malik or Pat's side has the ball, they'll go to press it, and then the other of the two is shading Kochu.
Okay. So cutting out that ball to the middle.
Yeah. Yes, it's Yuksek actually, the one that's deep on this moment that I clocked. And so
I think Yuksek was deeper than Kokshu in general. Yeah. Just to be clear. Yeah.
So we're shading that side to side. We got our wide people in the first line of four, Luna and McGlynn taking the wings. And so on this specific play, after Turkey works the ball from side to side, Chelik receives it on Turkey's right touchline and tries a square ball to Yuksek, who's making his way over. And Malik's in his pocket and blows him up as he tries to attempt a first-time pass. He was winding up to, hit that thing as he received it. Malik blows him up, gets the ball. Ball falls to Diego, who passes forward to Pat, who's basically at the left corner of our attacking box. Tries to cut inside, has it tackled away by Demerol. But it's just a good snapshot of what we're doing here defensively. And it in the first 15 minutes, I think we turned them over three times, I want to say, at least from deep.
And this was good, and it was a little bit illustrates the double-edged sword of Big Pat, because like you want him out in space facing up a center back going 1v1 on him. You want him to run down the ball in the channels and stuff, but you do not really want him playing on the half turn. He tries to let that ball run past him, takes a touch with his left foot towards the center of the top of the box, and it's just too heavy. He doesn't see the defender coming. He gets blown up. And playing the ball into Pat's feet in general was a strategy of diminishing returns for us throughout the game.
Yes.
6:25 mark, Cardoso does some nice stuff on the half turn. Had to clock it because it felt like he's feeling a masterclass coming on. We're up 1-0. He's not, he's just mustachioed nonchalance out there, feeling himself.
He was doing his thing, man.
Tragic.
Until he wasn't. I mean,
Middle of the 8th minute to the middle of the 10th minute, lots of patient possession from us. I mean, this is good stuff. I think it's pretty encouraging if you go back and watch this.
Mhm.
It all culminates in a pretty lovely move. Richards plays it out to Freeman. Freeman leads Cardoso into a little pocket of space with a real finely weighted little pass from the sideline into the interior of the field. Cardoso then just easy as you like has a one-touch pass to play McGlynn down the line again, and again he cuts in, and again he has one, this time from a little further out, slightly less time, doesn't quite get over it. And there's a couple things to discuss here. Well, why don't you give your? I mean, he hits it over. He hits it hard, but it goes like 2 feet over the crossbar.
Mhm.
What did you think? Did you think there was another option here? What did you think?
Well,
There were some screenshots going around on the Discord, and the ball, the first time ball with the right foot to play Big Pat in
yeah,
does look like it's on. You know,
I'm not mad at it, man. I mean, he's basically. So you're in Jack's shoes, okay? You just
yeah,
scored this goal in the first minute, and here you are in the 10th minute or whatever, and you're getting basically the same exact picture
yeah,
that you had when you scored the goal in the first minute, and you're already feeling good, confident. He probably had blinders on at that point, bro.
yeah,
So I mean, it is what it is. Of course, you want to optimize every we the scuffed community in particular want to optimize every single moment in a soccer match. But I can understand Jack calling a shot right here when he's already done it.
yeah. I
But
can totally understand too. But from a pure like optimizer's point of view, the
yeah, but
first time in step right footed pass to lead Big Pat into the box, it does
Mhm.
look like it's on. And
Fair
Tim
enough.
Weah probably makes that pass. That's the kind of thing Tim Weah loves to do.
True. But that's another thing. That's not well, I guess it is Jack. Like Jack has that capability, of course. But as a winger, like does he fully have that decision tree vetted out in a way that Tim Weah does?
Probably
Like
not.
he's
Yeah.
relatively new to the position, all these different types of things. So
Yeah,
uh,
for those of you who haven't been following the Houston Dynamo closely, he started the season as a midfielder. He's a midfielder by trade, but he's been moved out to right wing for what a month and a half, 2 months almost,
yeah, something like that.
and he's doing exactly what he did for the U.S. yesterday for Houston, getting the ball in space, cutting in on that left foot, and just blasting away.
So, but yeah, so to the possession though that led up to this chance,
Yeah.
all the good stuff that you talked about. So by the time Johnny played the ball, like Turkey is all out of sorts.
Hmm.
Like so Celik, this was a big thing for us, Bells. Diego, Jack, and Malik in general, just there. I mean, they're popping up in a lot of different places. Uh, the fullback spot, they're popping they're popping up at the fullback spot. They're popping up deep, like along with Luca and Johnny. They're popping up, just in their regular half space to receive the ball, like like Jack did to start the move for the goal. Right, they are all over the place, and we're just pulling Turkey all over. So Chelik follows Diego Luna all the way infield. Like Diego comes to like try to check to receive the ball, and Chelik just follows him all the way. I mean, this is the Turkish right back, and he is led all the way to like the left side of the midfield
Hmm.
by Diego Luna. Um, when Johnny received the ball, so Yonchu thinks that Johnny's going to pass the ball to Malik, so he steps up to Malik, who is in the midfield, and anticipating him getting the ball. The left back has come up to pressure Freeman. So 3 of Turkey's back 4 are on adventures basically when Johnny has received the ball, which leaves nothing but space in front of Jack and
Mhm.
a makeshift back line of Demiral and Adine, the right winger, to run at. Like that, those are the 2 Turkish defenders that Jack McGlynn's running at. Soyuncu recovers, he's pretty fast, well enough to get in front of Jack, but he does that little recovery where you just kind of get in front, and then Jack's already cutting to his left anyway, so unable to stop it. But yeah, just our possession, our ability to move the ball from side to side, and then Turkey had real problems trying to figure out who to pick up. In their defensive shape, they played a 4-4-2. I don't know if we mentioned that. Played a
I don't think we
4-4-2
did.
defense defensive shape, and unlike our front 2, their front 2 of Guler and our Turkoglu were not working very hard whatsoever. So it was easy to bypass them. They weren't shading any of our deep midfielders, which kind of put their 2 in a bind. And then, so their 2 Kochu and what's my boy's name? Yuksik don't know who to pick up between McGlynn dropping in, Luna dropping in, LDLT and Johnny all able to receive the ball, and they're getting no help from their front 2 at all. Like, no, they're not shading toward that, cutting off passing lanes, anything. So we're really outnumbering them like 4, even 5-2 at a lot of points because Malik's in there as well, and that's really what made us so successful in the match. Like, they never addressed this at really at any point. So yeah, we just were able to play around with them most of this match.
You love to see it. You love to see people moving around, disorganizing the opponent
With the ball, Bells.
Without the ball. If you don't have the ball, you still. And let that be a lesson to all of you young strikers. If your team is pressing, you need to press too. Okay. All right. 11-minute mark. More pressure from us. Arfston fires a ball at Luna. It kind of zips past him, maybe ricochets off a defender's leg. We get it back, and McGlynn tries to play Arfston in, but Max didn't make the run. This is I want to clock this because this is another plus moment from McGlynn, where he just he hits like a one-time sort of curled ball into the box.
Mm-hmm.
If Arfston is on his horse, this is a perfect pass, but Arfston doesn't quite see the moment developing. And I think when you go through and watch the game, McGlynn's involved in almost everything good we do. Like he probably pulled the trigger a few too many times. You know, I don't know if your patience for his confidence runs out on like the 5th time he hits it over the goal.
He was going crazy.
Yeah, but he's not going to beat anybody 1v1. We know that, but his passing vision makes things happen too. He's not just a guy who can only shoot from 20 yards out.
Mm-hmm.
Through 15, we're by far the better team. We look great, to be honest.
Quite easily. And also about the 15-minute mark, like right on the dot, I noticed that Turkey has started to bring a midfielder down to help accompany the center backs and build out. So now it kind of gives them a numerical advantage against our front 2. Right now they have 3. They had some moments where, like, if you notice, like in the middle of the first half, you start to see like I think we get a carry from Soyuncu like into the midfield space where Turkey's able to progress the ball that way. And this all comes because of the angles and the space that they now have building in a 3 instead of what is essentially a 2-1 with 2 center backs in this. My boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's confusing because he has Ismail on the back of the shirt. I guess they do kind of the Brazilian thing with the first names on it sometimes. So we start to show some cracks. 17th minute, Johnny catches Freeman a little flat-footed with I would say a bit of a hospital ball right at the top of the box. So Freeman he's the stay-at-home right back, but he's shading in a little bit in possession in the middle of the field. He gets tackled as the ball arrives from Johnny. It pings around, and I mean, easily could have fallen to one of three white shirts in our box. It just happens, luckily, to trickle to Richards, and he plays out. But this is sloppy from us.
Yeah. Alex Freeman's just not that type of baller
No, he's not
to
ready
be
for
like,
that.
and he inverted quite a bit in this match. I think he only got the ball twice in like inside midfield positions, and I think both of them went bad for us.
Yeah.
Uh,
So this is a little bit of a ding on Podge. Like, what's the idea here if we're gonna
yeah, that's just
have a structure with Freeman receiving the ball in zone 14? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but
like we said, it only happened twice, and some of them where like we got in the second half, we got a good. I think Jack McGlynn. Oh, when Jack McGlynn plays that ball up to Pat, and Pat chests it down, gets it out to Luca, and Luca plays that cross in.
yep.
He gets that space because Alex Freeman inverts and comes into the
Okay.
midfield, and Jack drops down. So some of it is just some window dressing to get Turkey moving around. Like I said, he only received the ball in those positions twice. So I don't know if I want to necessarily ding Potch for it, but
Fair enough.
yeah, that's just not Alex Freeman. And I do want to say that Arfston run that he did not make, Alex Freeman makes that run. That's what he's like really good at. Like box crashing, arriving. I mean, he's a crazy athlete. Yeah, y'all saw the sprint that he did in like the 85th minute or whatever, where he finally got to show. He got to open his legs up a little bit, and it was just like jumped off the screen, kind of like a Jedi type of thing. So
I noticed when he was doing throw-ins, he looked like the son of an NFL player. You know, when you look at him up close.
Yeah.
All right. 18th minute, Turkey goes long for Yildiz on the left wing, and he kind of like checks back to the ball, stops on a dime, and then sprints and gets played in. And Freeman just completely gets bamboozled by this. He's like 20 yards behind the play by the time Yildiz makes his first touch, and he squares it for Gula at the edge of the box, not the edge of the box, the edge of the six, and Gula just sails it over. But this was a really good chance. Probably should have been a goal. On his favored left foot, 8 yards out at the most. This is too easy, and some warning signs.
It's a big let off. I mean, Freeman was ball watching a little bit. He was watching Soyuncu, and then he just lined it up and played that ball over the top. Yildiz gone, man.
Yeah. But this is by far the worst thing that happened for Freeman on the day. So
yes,
don't want to over index for it. 22nd minute, I noticed some good alertness from Matt Freese to come out for an overcooked through ball. This looked like I was like, oh no, that guy's gonna get to it. And Freese came out, so good on him. Thought he had a solid outing. 22nd minute, a decent sequence from Johnny, McGlynn, and Tillman to cut through the midfield. More on the left side this time. Tillman tries to play Pat in around the edge, but the pass is a little hot. I'm sorry, this isn't on the left side. This is right up the middle. Tillman tries to play Pat in around the edge. So Pat is running kind of along the back line on the right side. And Tillman's pass is a little bit hot, but Pat's touch is just very bad. And the ball goes screaming towards the goalkeeper. He claims it comfortably. I think 3 of our other strikers would be able to corral that, and they'd be, if not in on goal, at least very close to being in on goal, able to shoot with that right foot. So this is a trade-off. This is part of the trade-off.
Yeah, It's the trade-off. I am starting to wonder what necessarily we're getting on the other side, just against
Well, theoretically, you're getting
different
him
opponents.
1v1 with a center back in space, you know? Not that it really produced anything, but
Right, right. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I do want to clock the fact that Malik wins the ball from Kochu with a sliding poke from behind that starts this move. Turkey's coming forward, he pokes it away, and then Turkey's in a state of disarray, and that gives us the space to go bing, 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 and get on our way. So Malik overall pretty good yesterday, I thought.
yeah, we didn't get to see him deal the way he is capable of dealing. Just be imperious out there on the ball, but I would say both him and Luna
Yeah,
played pretty well without doing anything super plus plus.
yeah. Even exact. I think I had the same exact note somewhere in this note in these notes at some point. But Diego, I think low key he was pulling the strings out there for us in possession, even though he wasn't on the ball a ton. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing every time. Like he was dragging Shelik all over the place, dragging Kokshu all over the place, dragging what's my man's name one more time?
Yuksik. Ishmael.
I
Call
don't
him
know why,
Ishmael.
bro. I know the Yuksik, but for whatever reason, it leaves me every time. Dragging Yuksik all over the place, and just very intelligent in his positioning and in his movement on the pitch. I think watching it back, I just gained an appreciation for it that I didn't have on the first watch.
Yeah. I mean, the counter argument from the Luna critic would be that's all well and good, but he's an attacking midfielder. Where's the beef? We need some
Of course.
Juice. And I guess I'm not totally unsympathetic to that, but I think I'm more pleased with him than maybe the average fan. Kokshu tests freeze from distance in the 23rd minute. It's a really good hit up at the top.
Yeah.
Top bins, upper 90, near post, and freeze palms it over. 24th minute, Yildiz dribbles his way over to the corner. So we're seeing sort of, Yildiz not at his best here, just kind of dribbling to nowhere. Freeman takes it off of him. But Turkey has 6 guys in our attacking third as Freeman plays it to Cardoso, and this is where the problem starts. Cardoso plays it back to Richards. Richards over to Freeze. Freeze is, standing in front of his own goal with the ball at his feet, and Cardoso's coming back to him kind of across the penalty marker. He plays it to him. He has time, seems. Takes 2 kind of long touches, and then he tries to use the outside of his boot to spread it out to Arfston on the left wing. Unfortunately, the ball hits Ardagula's knee right off of his foot, basically, and then just bounces, trickles, pings in off the post and in the goal. And you get a great behind the goal view of Johnny's face as the whole thing unfolds in slow motion. And it's to your point earlier, it's pretty sad. It's sad to see. But I mean, come on, man. We can't be doing that. You just can't do this.
Can't be doing it, man. And the more I thought about it, like I was tweeting on the Scuffed account yesterday, and as soon as this happens, right, everybody's like, "Oh, here we go, getting excited about Johnny again. Where's the Betty's Johnny? Whatever, blah blah." So I hop on Twitter and I was like, "Well, we're playing him as like a high touch possession controller, and he's not that, blah blah blah." But we watching this match, I don't even think we really played him as like a high touch possession controller. Like
Yeah.
him and Luka kind of shared the load pretty well, and we were skipping their line quite a bit because most of the problems were being created by McGlynn, Luna, and Tillman. That were really the ones that provided the overload of the Turkish 2 midfielders, and so it's not like he was dropping back between the center backs, receiving the ball all the time, conducting the possession in that manner. And so I think I gotta take that back. Like Johnny just needs to make he just needs to make the right play here. Like, and
Yeah.
if you can't make this play when you receive the ball in your own box, like it's really like the first time it had happened in the match, under pressure like this in this way. If you can't make the play here, then you just can't play double pivot
You can't even
for
really play as
anyone.
an 8 because you're gonna be in that
Right.
situation on occasion when we're getting pressed, even if you're an 8.
Right.
So figure it out, you
Yeah.
know?
8 or double pivot 6. You got to make it happen in your box at some point. And yeah, he just didn't do it. I mean, he had Miles right there, bro. Could have just played that thing to Miles. Miles was mostly handling himself. He mostly handled himself admirably on the ball. I would say,
He
like
was
there
fine.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, he was fine. There was no reason to skip him or anything like that. Just play the thing back to Miles. No need, no need, Johnny. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of a brain fart, it seems like to me, you know? And, it's not probably gonna happen again, but he's gotta
Bro,
sort of it it's
it's happened
happened a
like 3
lot.
times.
Yeah.
It's happened 3 times for the national team now.
Right. I
In
say it's
Kansas
not
City
probably gonna happen again, but yeah, I don't know.
in
He,
Kansas City against Canada, in, what, DC? Or, where is their stadium? It's
against
not DC
Columbia.
proper,
Yeah,
but I guess
somewhere in that
Columbia.
area.
So
Got a bit of a pattern here.
it's getting crazy. And the thing is, Imma shout out somebody on Discord, Ken Kendon, I wanna say.
Okay.
I saw a post on the Discord before the match, Johnny Masterclass incoming, and I said to myself, I don't think it is. I just had a feeling, bro. I don't know. He I'm rooting for Johnny, but I just had a feeling something was gonna happen. And then it happened,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
All right. So, and then Turkey scores again less than 4 minutes later. The bad news piles up. It's a nice bit of skill from Gula, and he kind of juggles it down in traffic right in front of, I think, Miles. And then he's off to the races. Finds Yildiz out wide. Freeman, he squares up Freeman. Freeman gets the better of him, pokes it away. This is good 1v1 defending from him. And then, unfortunately, El Mali just races in on the overlap and gathers it and zips it across. Kind of goes right through Akturkmalu and then Atukmalu. These Turkish names are a little tricky.
Real tough, bro.
Yeah. And it finds Aydin on the other side, the other winger, and he whips it back in a second time, this time from the right side, and it short hops off of Miles Robinson's shin. I don't know how much he knew about it, but he does manage to direct it away from goal. Unfortunately, knocks it down for a Turkoglu, and he he scuffs it, but it goes in the rain. Does a magic wand celebration of his own, which I took a little bit of offense to.
Yeah.
2-1 Turkey.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is there really anything to say about this goal?
It's a
It's
little
tough.
bit unlucky. Yeah.
I saw people like putting blame on Miles Robinson. I'm like, damn, man, that's tough, bro. He's supposed to. I mean,
He got the hook at halftime.
he did.
What else?
He did get the hook at halftime. Potts said they were pre-planned.
Is that? But I
So,
don't. I
yeah,
mean,
of course,
I don't know if I believe that. But
of course. But really, if anything, Chris had a decent shot to clear the El Mali cross when it initially came in. He whiffed on it before it got to Artoklu glue.
yeah.
But really, out of that entire sequence, I mean, I guess that's it.
You know who's having a ball with those Turkish names was Nico Cantor. He was really hamming them up. He'd be like Atukolu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really blame anybody for this one. I mean, you could have maybe even say McGlynn should have been on top of Almali a little bit more, but he was kind of shaded to the inside of of Yildiz. So pretty bang stuff. A little bit unlucky. First one is an unacceptable mistake from Johnny, and then we get this kind of like scramble goal. I still feel like we've been the better team through this point in the game, but yeah. All right. 29th minute, Johnny gets blown up on a sliding challenge from behind, just inside our half, and Kokchu tries to go the whole way himself, puts the shot too close to freeze. It's a comfy save, but this is like, come on, Johnny.
Spiraling, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he receives the ball. He checked it. He did check his shoulder a few times, but he didn't look in the direction that Kokchu was coming from,
Right.
which was kind of like behind his left shoulder. He didn't look that way. Unfortunately, got caught, and spiraling.
Yeah. And it doesn't stop there, because I think, Arfston gives it away into the center of the park a minute later, right on top of our box. And it looks really bad for Arfston. Actually, it is bad for Arfston. He shouldn't just like play this pass sort of speculatively into the top of our own box. But Johnny is like really slow to give him a target here. We're under pressure. Our left back he's got like 3 players converging on him. You're the deepest midfielder. You gotta show for the ball. You gotta help your teammate out here. And Johnny's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe he's thinking about the mistakes of the last few minutes, but he's not on top of it. And this leads to another chance. The shot gets blocked, so it's a little bit less scary, but
yeah,
we're just conceding chances over and over.
Like, now. This isn't anything that Turkey has done in this match.
We're just giving them stuff. Yeah.
We're just giving them stuff. Like the second goal comes off like I want to say a second ball, like as a transit. I think Chris wins the ball, like a goal kick, and I think it pops to Guler, and then Guler does his thing, gets it to Yildiz, etc. And then
no, I think it's maybe it's a goal, maybe it's a clearance, but then it's like a really towering header from, I think, Demirol over Luna that goes straight to Gula.
Okay. Yeah. Something like
yeah.
So it's that, and then Johnny making the big mistake, right? And then Johnny making another mistake, which really that just comes off of I want to say it's another Turkish attack that we deal with, and then the ball's coming to Johnny, and Kokchu, who has made the run up into the attack, is trying to get back and then just tackles Johnny. So it's, I guess I just say all to say, it's not the tactical that Türkiye has done necessarily. Like, we're just not playing well in these 7 minutes.
Yeah. We suffered after conceding, and like mentally. And I think Poch also mentioned this, like we just emotionally couldn't deal with it very well. I think we do still continue to be a fairly fragile bunch. Like if things start to go wrong, then we have a hard time kind of getting a handle on things. 32nd minute, but we still continue to create chances and stuff. So 32nd minute, a promising spell of possession through Luna slips away when it gets to Ajimang's feet. He's got back to goal, top of the box, and you'd like him to be able to sort of buy himself a moment or two and then find somebody's feet, but it just gets poked away from him. I think Sargent would be better in that situation. Balogun would be better in that situation. Pepe probably better in that situation.
So my thing is, he doesn't even have to post up like that necessarily, because a lot of the times when he's in those post up situations, especially when it's coming through Luna, like in a situation like that, like Celik has kind of been lifted, right? So he has that space to where, like you see Haji Wright do this, right? When you watch him for club or whatever, he'll never post up. He'll drift over to the left a little bit, while still facing forward, facing his defenders so that when he can receive the ball, he's in a a take on position.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to see Pat do a little bit of that. Like we're attacking a little bit of a fractured back line. Like he has the space to drag Demiral out there, not necessarily all the way out there, because I because I think if he goes like all the way to the touchline, Chelik would be able to recover and then becomes a 2-on-1. But just little subtle movement, probably a couple steps, a couple yards out there to your left, to where you can drag them all away a little bit and face up instead of back to goal where nothing positive is going to happen, and maybe something positive can happen if you just do it that way.
Yeah. I could see that. I also think there is a place for a big striker to be kind of a fulcrum and receive the ball with his feet and then find a runner.
Of course,
The
that,
runner
that-
wasn't the runners weren't really it wasn't really that much on. So what we needed from him was for him to step on the ball, hold the guy off, let things develop for a beat, you know.
yeah,
And
that's just not him.
no, no, no.
And it's like it. I've kind of been waiting for it to get to this point with Pat. Not that I'm like rooting for him to fail or anything, but it was just like, yeah, at some point, this is his skill level is going to be an issue.
Yeah, it is going to be an issue, and it was in this game. 34-minute mark. I just want to note a passage of play from Turkey. I think you might have mentioned this earlier. This is when Soyuncu comes through to win a long ball at midfield, dribbles a couple guys. 2 passes later, Aydin scoops it over the back line for Aktürkoğlu, who mishits the volley over his shoulder. But this is some really sexy soccer from Turkey here. And even though it is a comfortable save for Freeze.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm giving a slight demerit to Luca Della Torre here because he's in no man's land the whole time. So that Soyuncu's doing all that, and probably should be the one. he should be keyed in to Aydin being the one who's going to receive the ball here, and I think he has enough time to even pick off that pass. But even if he doesn't pick off that pass, he should at least have pressure to his body as soon as he receives the ball here. And if you look at him, like Luca's just arms out, looking around. He looks like you know in the movies when like you lose a kid in a very crowded area, and the camera and the camera takes the kid's point of view, and the kid just sees a whole bunch of briefcases and arms and legs walking by him, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" Yeah, that was Luca Della Torre.
Yeah, that little bit of time, man. That little bit of time means everything, and Aydin made the most of it. And Aktürkoğlu actually didn't do too bad for an over-the-shoulder volley, but
yeah.
Good sequence in the 35th minute with Della Torre carrying it 30 yards on the half turn and finding Arston in space out left. Arston cuts in, rifles a pass at Luna's feet. Luna wins a little cage match, side foots it wide to McGlynn in what amounted to a little duel for that ball. And McGlynn cuts in and shoots, of course. His shot is blocked by Soyuncu.
Yeah.
I don't really blame him for shooting here either.
Hey, shoot, man. But at this point, you saw the urgency of Soyuncu though to get out there. He's like, no, it's not happening again. And he really like exploded to get to Jack's left foot. But to get to this point, Turkey, once again, we pulled them apart. Building from the back. Luna shows up in the left fullback spot, gets the ball from Miles, passes it back to Miles, and then runs across the field. He attracts, and by him running across the field, he attracts Yüksek. Yüksek decides to follow him all the way across the pitch. This is their right midfielder in the double pivot in their defensive shape. And he's the camera angle, like the frame completely. He's following Luna all the way over there. So Aydin, Turkish right winger, kind of comes inside to replace Yüksek, but then Malik has now popped up in that left fullback spot. So once again, they're doing all types of things, right? With the positions they're taking up and the movement that they're doing. Like the idea that Diego popped up there, passed it back, and then all of a sudden you got Malik popping up there too. Yeah, Diego gone, and then Malik popping up there as well. shows that there's some very intelligent design going on here, and not
Mhm.
even just intelligent design from Poch, but just that the players know what's going on and they know how to manage themselves within this system. So that was
You
pretty
love to
cool to
see
see.
it. You love
Yeah,
to see it. Yeah. It's I think overall this game was better than I mean definitely better than both of the Nations League games and probably the most encouraging game of the Potch era so far, which is a pretty low bar, but
that's a good question. I mean, we did get to cooking in some of these matches, like the early ones, Jamaica, but yeah, we're playing Turkey. I'll take that. I'll take that for sure.
playing Turkey
Um,
with 0 players who started at the 2022
yeah,
World Cup, you know? I
yeah.
mean,
I
context
I
is king, baby.
I accept. So when Malik pops up to the fullback spot, now Ideen's overloaded. He has two people. He has to make a decision between Malik Tillman and Luca De La Torre. He starts to out towards the left touch line, towards
Mhm.
Malik, and then it's just a simple pass to Luca De La Torre, and boom, he's in 30, 40 yards of space to carry the ball forward.
I think the
So,
pass came
yeah.
from Richards too, right? And it was a little bit disguised like a lot of his passes are.
But once again, I cannot express how little the front two of Arturkoglu and Gula were given Turkey defensively.
Really?
Like, yes,
That's too bad.
it's it's easy to do all the disguising and stuff when it's like there's no pressure coming your way, and you don't have to worry about the other person of the two like sticking a foot in and picking off your pass either. Like it's just
Yeah.
they were having a great time back there serving the ball up. Not to take anything away from them, but
Okay, fair enough. It's good. It's good we get a little wet blanketing. Um, you're kind of serving the Velasquez role there, you know. Appreciate it. Uh, so last 10 minutes of the first half were not bad. Some decent possession sequences from us, but nothing really doing. There's Johnny's sort of disappearing from the picture as the minutes tick by, and Ajaman gets into a dust up with Demirol, which is kind of fun. They then go right at each other, and it's a good battle in the box. I think Demirol accused Pat of diving, and he was fouling him the whole time. He was grabbing his shirt, but Big Pat's not going to get those calls unless he starts learning to flop a lot. And
yeah.
nobody would believe it, even if he did flop.
But
Yeah,
look, that was a good rep though. That was a good rep. I think in the 43rd minute, him in the box, him and Demirol, 1v1, and he gets the ball back to goal. Nice touch for him to turn and get on his way.
trying to swim past him like a
Yeah,
defensive end going around a
right,
tackle. Yeah,
right. Receive that thing with his right foot, kind of looped it behind him, and then yeah,
trying to get to that
try to
quarterback.
turn. Try to get to that quarterback, and yeah, they both had each other's shirt. I think it was a good duel there. I
Yeah,
think it was good competition. I always love moments like that in a match where it's like, yeah, these are just two dudes out here competing.
yeah,
So,
agreed.
um, and I think Demerol appreciated it. Pat appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a mutual respect there. They're smiling at each other like, yeah, I got you, but you kind of got me back. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Also, real quick before we end the half, I'm clocking Malik tracking back and dispossessing Ark Turkoglu in the 45th. This is the shoulder check. I don't know if you remember this, but Ark
Oh
Turkoglu
yeah,
had the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
ball
yeah,
like at the top of the box. Malik gets back, like big shoulder check from Malik, removes him from the ball,
yeah.
and yeah, we're off. And yeah, we already talked about Johnny hiding for the last 15 minutes of the match, so that's how the half ended.
And then there was the one the Arston did the CR7 trick where he like heals it inside as he's
Yeah.
dribbling.
He
That
yeah,
drew a chuckle out of me. I'm
he
like,
did
what are you
shoot
doing, Maximilian?
Maximilian. Look, he did have what, like maybe like 1 or 2 moments towards the end of the half where he has the ball on the left wing, ends up cutting inside, playing the ball inside, or nothing came. No big chances came out of these moments or anything like that. I just want to say, Max, take a page from Jack and just have a shot, man. Have a shot.
Yeah.
He would cut inside a little bit. And they really didn't have any resistance to him cutting inside, and then once he was there, um,
You could tell he
decision
just
making
kind of
wasn't
wanted
the
to
best.
get rid of it. He just kind
Yeah,
of wanted to pass
yeah.
responsibility on. So that's the half. If you want to skip the ads, join the Patreon. The link is in the show notes. It is the $5 and $10 subscribers are the lifeblood of the podcast. They are what make this all viable. We appreciate
Also,
those of you who do support us.
clip notes. Clip notes are coming
Yeah,
from this match. The $5, $10 subscribers get them right to your inbox or the Patreon app, whatever tickles your fancy. But
that's right.
all timeline moments from this match will be condensed and put into a video by yours truly.
Vince is grinding. Vince is grinding over there. Yeah,
Well,
that's another thing to consider when you try to weigh whether to become a Patreon. You get those videos. Second half, Johnny and Miles get the hook. Tyler and Mark McKenzie come on. I think I have to say I didn't have any big problem with Miles, but I do prefer McKenzie back there on the ball. Now he did have an error towards the end of the second half that caused us some problems, but generally speaking, you feel like more is going to come from McKenzie's feet than Miles's in terms of progression.
yeah, fair. I mean, we got a huge switch that Mark McKenzie hit like late in the second half that I don't think we necessarily get with Miles in there.
Yeah,
And just general silkiness, of course. Mark got that a lot
Mark is
until
silky. Yeah, he is
until something happens.
until something bad happens. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you did get the feeling that he and Chris are both regular starters. Now they're
Yeah.
that was a thing Poch mentioned. They have most of our center backs play in 3 center back formations.
Mhm.
It's going to be some time of adjustment for them to get better at playing together in a 2 center back formation. But so that maybe we should talk about a little bit more later. But McKenzie and Richards are regular starters in big boy leagues where they play center back, and you feel like I felt better when they were both out there. Like they could handle anything pretty much.
Yeah, Mark was looking very assured in the moments that he was called on, for the most part, handling business. And the thing about them playing in the back three, well, at least Mark McKenzie, because he was the wide left of the three, is that when the ball, like if Turkey turns us over, right, and we're in our attacking posture, I think there was a ball down the sideline to probably Adine, I guess, that Mark handled pretty well, and I was just watching, and I was like, yeah, that's what he does at Toulouse, because he's playing that like wide center back role, and he had no issues, just handled it, knocked it out for touch, easy.
Yeah, he's comfortable out in those open spaces out wide,
Yeah.
which is an important thing.
All right.
What do you got?
47-minute. Tyler Adams finds Luca De La Torre in a pocket of space close to the left touchline. Luca holds off Aydin and steps past Yuksik, and he's off. Passes to Pat, who's running in the channel and in front of Luca. Now this looks Haji-esque. He receives this ball as he's sprinting. Luca passes the ball to him. He's facing forward. He's ready to go. Full head of steam for Big Pat. He receives it kind of by stepping over the ball, open it up to Demiral a little bit, and he goes ahead and knocks it out for a corner. We get a decent chance off the ensuing corner. Diego Luna just plays it on the ground at an angle, basically to an arriving Luca on the left side of the box. He shoots probably about 10 yards away, kind of close to the 6, but not necessarily in the 6. on the left side of the box. He blasts it over.
Hmm.
That
What'd
was
you
a
think of
decent
Luka?
chance.
What'd you think of Luka? I mean, he misses this chance. Chances get missed sometimes, but
Yeah,
what'd you think of Luka overall?
that was good. That's a Luca De La Torre performance.
Right.
If you put Luca on the field, you're hoping that he looks like that. He did a good job receiving the ball, progressing the ball, uh, carrying. He does. He's great when he's carrying. And here, I mean, this is probably one of his better moments because it's like he's in a little bit of jeopardy as he receives this ball.
Mhm.
I mean, he has the touch line, he has Aydin right there, and he has Yuksik basically bracketing him, and holds off Aydin with his left arm, and then just pushes it past Yuksik, and he was gone. So this was pretty nice from him, and I thought he turned it up in the second half in particular.
Mhm. Yeah. He's definitely more of a piano mover than a piano player when it comes to that metaphor. He's the guy who's going to get us into the attacking third. Doesn't seem like he's the attacking third guy, but yeah, when it comes to that stuff, man, he was quite good, I thought.
Yep.
And 51st minute mark, nice sequence, a really good chance. You referenced this briefly earlier. McGlynn plays a nice clip ball. I think this was the one where Freeman was
Yeah.
inverted to give him the space to do it. Nice
Mhm.
clip ball into Ajiman running the channel. He takes it down cleanly, taps it out to De La Torre. De La Torre crosses to the back post, and Arston meets it with his head, but sends it wide. This is a pretty good chance. Basically a free header at the back post.
Exactly. He said, "Hey, I could play a little chopsticks on the piano bells,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, real nice cross from Luca. Good ball from Jack to Pat. I know Kyle Martino gave Pat a lot of praise for controlling this ball. I don't think this was necessarily that difficult, but either way, he controlled it, got it out to Luca, and yeah, Arston. Bells, what you think about Maximilian, man?
I think on this one, his body was telling him that the defender in front of him was going to get a touch, and
Yeah,
it was going to.
fair.
And it's just so hard when that ball, when the ball travels like this far over the guy in front of you's head. It's really hard to just meet it with authority, and so he didn't. I mean, people do it. It is done in professional soccer to a powerful header in traffic. But Max didn't do it this time.
Yeah,
I'm not that mad at him. I wish he'd put that away, but I don't know who on our team I would guarantee to put that away, even among our strikers.
fair enough.
Overall, Arston, you notice I haven't been making a lot of fun of him this episode so far. I don't think he deserves that. I think he did all right. He's not very good at defense. We had him in the attacking third a lot of the game.
Right.
Does he give us enough in the attack to sort of justify his presence out there? I don't know. I kind of don't think so. I want to see John Tolkien on Tuesday and henceforth, please.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards what you just said, Bells, and yeah, Tolkien in, and I would take another Freeman start, Tolkien in the stay at home role, and let Freeman do his thing.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
would I would be I'd be kind of excited to see that. But
Tolkien could still take set pieces. He can still sort of help us build out. I mean, he's very slick at that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I'm not just feeling derisive towards Arston. I'm not making fun of him or, dismissing
I
him completely like I was a couple weeks ago.
I am not feeling derisive or dismissive, but I mean, out of our starters yesterday. Oh no, hold on, we gotta take Johnny out of it. but You take our starters, minus Johnny. I think he might have been, and Big Pat. I think he might have been the worst after, just as far as like impact on the match. This
Yeah. Yeah, taking Johnny out of the equation. It's between Big Pat and Arston for worst player for us. There's gonna be people so mad at us for saying that.
this
But
is not to say he was like bad or a train wreck or anything.
no,
To be
he
clear,
wasn't. No, he wasn't. Not he was not a train wreck. And he does not deserve any little pot shots from me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
when your name's Maximilian Arston, you're gonna get some. You're gonna get some pot shots. That's gonna come with the territory,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah. You know, my brother and my grandfather are named Max, but it's just Max, not Maximilian, not Maxwell, just Max.
Yeah, I was about to say the Maxwell.
Yeah. Silver Hammer. 53rd minute. Adams and Luna's counter pressing wins it to Ajimong right at the top of the box, and he turns and shoots. This is a good chance to cement your spot, and he shoots it firmly, just right at the goalkeeper Ogier.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Caught it well with his right foot. Is what it is. But real quick, I think this is Diego Luna smelling blood and just going and making a play here. I'm not even totally sure he's supposed to be where he is when he goes to ground and sweeps the ball from Kokshu.
Mm-hmm.
But as Kokshu receives the ball and lets it run past him a bit, I think he just sniffs out an opportunity and makes a play. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I think we talked about it. Not a lot of plus stuff from Diego, but his soccer IQ, offensively and defensively, I think really shown in this match.
He was upset when he came off. He looked his face was cloudy when he was subbed off. But I agree. Yeah.
People said he was holding his hammy.
Oh, really?
And I think even when he went down for this challenge in particular, he came up a little gingerly.
But it wasn't his hammy in this case, right? It was like he got a knock on the ankle or something. I hope it wasn't his hammy, man. I don't want to hear about no hammies.
Yeah, it would be unfortunate, but yeah. Well, once again, just making a play, man. Balls all the way on our right side, and I think O'Malley basically passed it to Kokshu. Tyler's in front of Kokshu, so he lets it run to his right, and yeah, Diego wasn't supposed to be there. Just comes in, boom, blows it up. That's the stuff you love to see, man. Just guy out there balling, making plays,
proactive, making stuff happen.
Proactive, man, making stuff happen. Also, want to note our line of confrontation is higher this half. We're basically, right on the edge of the box, ready to pounce. We're pressing pretty high, and we're back to having success on the front foot defensively, and Turkey kind of went back to their original build-out shape too, which helped us out. So 56-minute bad giveaway in our own half from Tyler Adams. Turkey put 3 quick passes together to find our Turkoglu in the box, but his touch is heavy when he receives it, and then Tyler clears it out.
I thought this is definitely a giveaway from Tyler. I did think he was actually pretty decent in possession in this game. He still has some limits there, but I was pleasantly surprised. 57th minute, good chance for us. A long passing sequence that starts with Ajimon running down a clearance into Turkey's half, standing it up. So that ability is a real thing that is helpful to the team on occasion. Eventually, the ball ends up with McGlynn. He dribbles at the goal and then kind of clips it out to Tillman to his right. He goes to the end line. I mean, I skipped a bunch of passes to go from Ajimon to McGlynn, but just to be clear. And then Tillman goes to the end line, stands a ball up for Arfston at the back post, so it's his second chance to write his name in lights. He chests it down and tries a side volley that he kind of shanks it. turns out LDLT was standing at the penalty marker waiting for him to lay it off. I think in this case, you can say he should have laid it off. At least I'm going to say that. Arston should just play the simple pass to Luka, and he'll have a solid 0.5 xG chance in his pocket.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, should have.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's so. Again, where the question is Arston such a good attacker that we need him out there? I don't think so. No,
I'm not seeing it. He has a lot of, he got some good traits. Like with the ball, he's very comfortable. He can do things with it, take people on, dribble, pass, etc. But yeah, as far as final third juice, yeah, I'm not seeing it.
58th minute, McGlynn's just pulling the trigger anytime he's near the box. I misses the target again. I forget the build up, but it's not really that important. Well, go ahead.
Well,
sorry.
Just because we've
set you up very poorly there.
Well, just because we've been downplaying Maximilian Arston, I just want to say he did win the ball on the touchline in our own half from Chelik. I think I couldn't get a number,
okay.
But to start this move.
Okay. Good job, Arf. 59th minute, McGlynn has a terrible giveaway. I've been saying a lot of things he's done well, but this was not good. He plays the ball basically to the chest of a Turkish player in the center circle. They don't capitalize, but yeah, not good. 60-minute mark, a really ballsy bit of possession from us. I mean, we're really trying to play out of the back. Turkey is pressing, perhaps not with that much vigor, but they have basically everybody forward. And when there's a point where we play it along our end line, basically from corner flag to corner flag through the goalkeeper's feet. Eventually De La Torre gets sprung, or no, he plays it to Arfston on the end line, on the touch line, and Arfston springs Luna. So this is also nice from Arfston. And Luna slides it out to McGlynn, who tries to cut in and shoot again. So Luna's off to the races, plays it out to McGlynn, who tries to cut in and shoot again. This is one where Tillman and Freeman are to McGlynn's left as he's shooting. And I've seen some discussion where people are saying, well, he definitely should have passed to Tillman or Pat in this one. So this is, if you're looking for the timestamp, it's like 60-10 or something like that. McGlynn, I don't know. I think it's a little bit less clear than some of the discussion I've seen. Like McGlynn is winding up to shoot. As he's winding up to shoot, I think it's Demirel, who is shaded to Tillman. He's backing up as McGlynn winds up to shoot. So if McGlynn winds up to pass to Tillman, I think he gets closed down almost immediately by Demirel. That like half a second where he's winding up to shoot, Demirel moves back like 3 yards. He moves back enough where he can actually block the shot. McGlynn hits I think a shot that was pretty clearly going to go in at the far post had it not been blocked by Demirel. So this is a nice play by Demirel. So anyway, I think the pass to Tillman, you can freeze frame it at the point when he's about to shoot and it looks like Tillman is wide open. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's that open. I also think he's leaning. Tillman's a little too close to the goal. So it's not like he's arriving onto a spot where he can just smash the ball. He's close to the goal and he's leaning towards the goal. So a pass to him, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit awkward for him to collect his body, receive it, shoot. Other thing is, I'm really Zaprudering this. but the other thing is, Ajimong is wide open, but that picture is a little bit muddled by the fact that Tillman is kind of between McGlynn and Ajimong. So that's a little bit muddled. And then Luna's running in front of Tillman, making a run to the near post. That muddles the picture for Tillman. So I think it's fair to say maybe McGlynn should have passed it here. I don't think it's like an open shut case. I think it's a little bit more complicated.
It's definitely not an open shut case. For sure. I will back you on that, Adam Belz.
Okay, thanks. And I think McGlynn. If this goes back to the XG numbers, the percentages, McGlynn shooting from that spot is. I'm gonna take that. I'm take the probability of that ball going in over a lot of other types of shots from a lot of different players, and obviously it didn't go in, but I don't know. I don't know if we want. I don't know if we want Big Pat getting that ball at his feet, having a couple of defenders flying at him, and having to decide what he's going to do. Is he going to go far post? Is he going to go near post? Is he going to try to dribble the guy? We don't need all that. Just shoot it, Jack. You're 16 yards from goal.
Hey
So
man,
that's the
we're
case
just
for. Go ahead.
it's just baby steps, man. We've moved from Eunice to Jack McGlynn. Now we're consistently getting some goal dangerousness from the right wing, and then once we plug Tim Way in at that spot, like once Poch discovers this, and then this is key here. When Poch does, in quotes, discover this, we got to act like he's just the most brilliant man in the world. We got to really stroke his ego. Like when he puts Tim Way at right wing, then it's gonna be like, man, wow, look at what this team can do. Chance creating machine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was baby steps, man. You
I
gotta build
like.
it. You gotta break it down to build it back up.
Yeah. I like the idea of McGlynn in that spot with Tim Weah overlapping on his right side, or Serginho Dest, somebody else providing the width out there.
Be nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's try to get through the rest of this pretty fast. 65th minute, Nathan Harriel, Quinn Sullivan, and Haji Wright come on for Arfston, McGlynn, and Luna. I don't think there's too much to say about any of them. I thought Wright didn't have the best outing of his career. 69th minute, good patience from us, and we're looking for an opening. We find Adams in a big pocket of space, and he turns and he's off. Finds Sullivan, he crosses it. It doesn't really. It gets kind of cleared away, but Haji nicks it off somebody over on the other touch line. And he takes it to the end line, crosses it for Sullivan. Sullivan collects it and mishits it with his left foot. So this was, yeah.
I just want to say, you said Haji didn't have. Haji wasn't great. Don't get me wrong. Haji wasn't great, but I'm seeing a lot of people acting like he was ass, like all the way. He started off kind of hot. Like he got this cross at the end line and then 1-2 corners in like his first 3 1v1 situations, and then he was ass after that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I just want I just want to say that.
I like the soccer we're playing at this point in the game, and I thought Tyler was looking decent. Brian White comes on for Ajamong in around the 74-minute mark. Just looking at the rest of my notes, Richards was good in the air. I mean, dominant in the air.
Yep. In the 77th minute, Richards hit a like 60-yard dime in the air right to Brian White's chest. I just wanted to point that out. That was very nice. 78th minute, we got Turkish sub Oxysek. Look,
Chichek, maybe.
Chichek, yeah, that's what it is. Oxysek. He gets a yellow card. He's a young baby face, 19-year-old center back from Fenerbahce, I want to say. He gets a yellow as Malik runs down a bouncing Turkish throw-in and intercepts it. Looks like he would definitely be off to the races. Akshicek clips him down, which on the replay, I think I would like to see Malik run through that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Was there even contact?
Bro, I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. If I missed it, it must have been underneath one of the raindrops on the camera.
Yeah, but they were having trouble with that. So you need somebody with a squeegee cloth.
But yeah, like Malik, come on, man. Anyway, 79th minute, we get a Tyler Adams giveaway on the half turn.
Oh, brother.
He receives, turns, I think he's trying to play it to Arfston, and just it hits a Turkish player in their body. I want to say, as he tries to play it over him. Doesn't work. Anyway, so
okay. 82nd minute, Tillman gives it away on a short corner, leads to a near disastrous moment of transition. It's a jailbreak, and Gula gets it running at Harriel, draws all the attention, slips it over to Boris Yilmaz, who had subbed on, and he blasts it wide. But this had third goal written all over it, and Yilmaz just kind of bottled it. Bad from Tillman. I mean, he's trying to shove it over to Adams right at the corner of the box.
Yeah. And then I'll say 89th minute, that big Mark McKenzie switch I was talking about earlier over to Quinn Sullivan. He receives the ball, gets into the box, drives a low fizz cross in, drives a low fizz cross in, but straight to the keeper. He gestures a bit after. I think he wanted Brian White to come near post on the run.
Exactly. That's exactly what he wanted. You got a little bit of that Sullivan teammate criticism.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, White's in it. White's got to figure out which way to go, and it's not necessarily that he needs to go to the near post for me there. And it gets gets a little messy and disjointed at the end. But Turkey gets a couple more chances. Gula blocks one of his own teammates' shots. But that's it. 2-1. That's all the action. I think I feel better after having rewatched this than I have about the national team in months. I'm gonna be honest.
Fair. Yeah, we played really well, man. Like I don't got any complaints. Now I will drop my one overarching takeaway that I said I was going to save to the end.
Yes.
That is, I don't think Turkey was playing that hard.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, I'm very happy that I kept it for the end because it would have just shaded everything in just a weird way. But looking back on it, first of all, they never addressed the issue of them giving overrun in midfield. You would have to think if this is a real match, maybe they do. And then when it's like when Yuksek and Kokshu were getting bypassed, a lot of the times they were strolling, bro.
Or that.
I mean, lineman jogs as Luca Della Torre is running at a back line or whatever. So, but this takes nothing away. It takes nothing away from our performance.
Yeah, it was.
It does take a little bit away, but
yeah, I was gonna say it takes a little bit away, but it's still a good team. You know, it's like a lot better than any team will play in the Gold Cup outside of maybe Mexico, and I think that's debatable. So yeah, we're creating chances. It's nice to see. You know, I know McGlynn has all kinds of limitations, shortcomings, but at least with McGlynn, when he's out there, you feel like, okay, there's a way we might score a goal. You know, like we might score a goal with Jack McGlynn. And I mean, there's a lot of games where you watch Pulisic for 90 minutes, and it never becomes apparent how we might have scored a goal. You know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a player out there where you're like, okay, he might do it. You know. And there's a goal revenue stream in him. I want to see more from Malik and Luna, even though I liked how they played. Like we said earlier, give me Tolkien at left back. Imagine we're going to see Walker and Richards on Tuesday.
Think so, Walker and Richards?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice if it was McKenzie and Richards because I think that's who we got. Those are the guys for now. But
yeah,
Zimmerman. I don't know why they bring him in and not play him. Anything else?
No. Mexico played Switzerland, and Switzerland beat them 4-2. I want to say. Yeah, they played. I was wondering what type of roster they had. They played the guys, Embolo, Xhaka, etc.
Okay.
Which Xhaka only played a half, but
Oh, they're saving him for Nashville. That's what that is.
You know?
Did you see the highlights from that Spain-France game?
Oh yeah, bro.
Holy
There's a huge debate online about if Turkey's good or not, and it's ridiculous. That man's so nice.
yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back Wednesday or Thursday with the recap of the Switzerland game. We'll see you.